Okay, so here's our strategy number one. Selfish strategy number one is take risks. So if we've got just a little bit of money left and we're gonna roll the dice, we're gonna win big. Probability of winning big is 10%. Payoff $1,000. Lose big 90%. Payoff is 0. So we take what's the cash in the firm, the $200, all the firm's cash, and we really need a required rate of return of 50%. And the required rate of return of 50%, that's so we can pay the bondholders back, right? So 250% would be another 100, so that would be 300, so we could pay off our debts and then close shop. Well, that would be minimum to close shop. The expected cash flow from the gamble, remember how we do expected cash flow, the $1,000 is a weighted average. $1,000 times 10% plus 0 times 90%, which is 0. So we have $1,000 times 10% plus 0. The expected value is 100, but it's at time 2, time period 1. Times 0, we have to discount it back to time 0. So if you look at it as the net present value is we get 100, but we don't have it until later, we discount that back at 50%, which is our required rate of return, and we have the $200 going out. We find out that the $100 isn't enough because of the discounting factor, and the discount factor is so high we need a required rate of return of 50%. So when you discount it back, you don't get all the money that you think you need, even if it's successful. So the strategy payoff, the expected cash flow from the gamble is bondholders, $300 times 10% plus 0 is 30. To shareholders, 1,000 minus 300 times 10% is 70. The present value of the bonds without the gamble is 0. The present value of the bonds with the gamble is 0, or is 200. 200 without the gamble. The present value of the stocks without the gamble is 0. The present value of the bonds with the gamble is 20. The present value of the stocks without the gamble or with the gamble is 47. So what you can see here is that the gamble benefits the shareholders, but it doesn't benefit the bondholders at all. And why would they take that risk if they could end up with nothing when they could end up with 2/3 of their money? So in this case, you're taking a huge risk to make it pay off. In this case, it probably won't, but if it does, you've taken too big of a risk for the bondholders. So selfish strategy number one is probably not a good idea. Let's go on to selfish strategy number two.